What is up, guys? LA Gamer here, and today I'm bringing you guys episode 1 of a new series on my channel. In today's episode, I will be playing a MyLeague on NBA 2K16. Now, this is a little bit interesting for me. It's been 2 months since my last upload. We can talk about this. I'll probably make another video explaining what happened this time, and it's just another stupid little bump in the path. But real quick, I'd like to say thank you to all you guys who stayed subscribed, who stayed active on all the recent videos, or not the recent videos, but the videos I made before my little leave of absence. But let's get into this. It is the franchise. Autosave will be on, of course. I don't want to be screwed over forgetting to save. And for those of you who are wondering why I'm doing a MyLeague rather than a MyGM, I'll explain that real quick while I'm going through the stats. So we're going to do all this. Fantasy draft is on, and this is actually where it comes into play. I want to have the #1 overall pick. My reasoning for that is I've never had more fun than I have in this game when I'm playing with Stephen Curry. So I don't want to spoil the first pick, but the first pick is going to be Stephen Curry. Yeah, I'm going to spoil it. Customized league, we're not going to do that. Although that would be interesting, we could add a lot of new players to the roster. I don't think necessarily we should do that, just because I don't know, I just want to keep it kind of simple. I don't want to keep it too crazy. If you guys want something crazy like that for a future fantasy draft, just comment that down below. Last year I had two leagues going on at once, and maybe I can do that again this year and try some new things. So look at trade laws, just look at all these things. Usually these things are pretty straight on. Quarter length in like 7 minutes. I'm pretty sure that's what it was last year. Trade approval, there's no way I would do that. Start with existing trades. I'll just start with the original draft picks. We'll just disable that, because honestly that gets confusing with certain picks, because sometimes that's not correct. It's like, I remember last year, let me explain this real quick, is the Lakers had a top 5 protected pick, and I remember I would get a top 3 pick with them, and it would still go to the Suns. So sometimes the game doesn't put into consideration all of the work that goes in to trading a pick with, you know, the what's it called, having them protected and stuff like that. So that wasn't considered in last year's game, and I doubt it would be considered in this year's game. So I'm not going to take that risk. Now we're going to put on Hall of Fame difficulty. Last year I used to win all the games, and it was kind of frustrating. So we're going to put on Hall of Fame this time. So nothing crazy. We're going to keep everything kind of simple here. The sad part is this gives you an opportunity to try a lot of new things, but like I said, I want to keep things kind of simple. The only reason I want this any different than the MyGM is because I want to have control over the #1 overall pick, because I want to have Steph Curry. So we're not going to normalize play to sim minutes. Actually, you know, let's do that. I'm going to try not overuse Steph Curry to the point where his stats will be too OP, but we'll just see what happens, because I'm going to try to drop 50 with him every game. I'm not actually going to be sarcastic about that. Every single time I use Steph Curry, I'm going to try to drop a crazy amount of points. So let's go down to the Warriors. I'm going to be using this team just because, of course, it's the team that represents Steph Curry, or the team that Steph Curry represents. And I think it's an awesome team, and it represents what I'm trying to accomplish. Last year, my team was all about athleticism. We're changing the pace this year. Of course, the Warriors were the champions last year, and they set a new foundation for teams in the future by kind of just showing teams that you can win with a team of shooters and some defense. And that's kind of what I'm going to do here, is I'm going to have some shooters and some defense. Shooters primarily through the guards, and defense primarily through the big guys, like the power forward in the center. So it's your team. I just want to use the Warriors. The draft combine, we'll do all this stuff manually. So it's going to be basically like a MyGM, because I'm going to have control over everything. So that's something you guys got to take into consideration. It's like, I'm not going to try to skip things around. Let's see, where are the Warriors? Originally we would have had the 20th pick. See, from what my friend told me, from what my friend told me, Steph Curry is always the #1 overall pick. So with that in mind, we're going to need the #1 overall pick. And before you guys think it's too OP, remember that I'm going to have the last pick in the second round. So it does balance itself out. I'm not going to have a good #2 player, and that could end up biting me in the butt. So let's see. Steph Curry is the #1 player in the game. The game has now accepted Steph Curry as the best player in the league. Look at these shooting stats. Those just can't be argued with. Plus, his free throw rating, I believe, is a 98. Let's check. Oh wow, where is it? I haven't played this game in a long time. Have I already scrolled by it? That's kind of bad. No, it's a 93. Oh, I played a game with him and he was a 98, so he must have been on fire. So, yeah, Steph Curry's the way to go, I believe. And wow, okay, let me just admire these stats a little bit, because they're finally updated. Kawhi Leonard's viewed as the same skill level as Anthony Davis. I'm a little skeptical about that one, but I do believe that Kawhi Leonard's a big name player, and he could be the future of the league. Him and Anthony Davis have a lot of talent. So So we got Westbrook to Cousins. We'll go kind of slow. We got Durant to the Grizzlies. Any big things? Paul George to the Pistons. That's interesting. Billy Griffin back to the Clippers, and Chris Paul to the Lakers. Kind of something that should have happened a long time ago, and I'm saying that kind of biasedly because I'm a Lakers fan. But if you guys remember, that trade was vetoed. So Chris Paul was originally supposed to go to the Lakers, but see, Antetokounmpo is going 21st overall. I don't know about that. Jahlil Okafor's number 1 overall pick. Kristaps Porzingis is the number 1 overall pick. Look at this. This is actually surprising me, some of these names that are being taken so early. Can't believe some of it, but we got Derrick Rose up here. We got Rudy Gay. Big fan of Rudy Gay. We got Ibaka, Iguodala. I like Iguodala, but if you guys watched my last year draft, I'm a huge fan of just kind of young players. Young players always kind of stick with me, and it helps because not only do they typically ask for less money when they're not in their prime, but they just typically can stay on the team longer. They, of course, won't retire, and we don't have to worry about their stats digressing. So those are all things taken into consideration. JJ Redick would be a fun player, of course, because he's a great shooter as well. But we're not going to do that. Rudy Gay is not bad. We got Tobias Harris, who's a nice young small forward. Power forward, we have Mirotic, Ibaka, Fareed. Center, we have some guys too. Okay. I'm really leaning towards Ibaka, but he was a guy on my team last year, and I really don't want to be going with the same thing year by year. Gordon Hayward might be a guy we have to consider. Nicholas Batum, another good player. Man, guys, I'm sorry. This is just a tough first couple of picks. I didn't put everything into consideration. Or Chris Middleton's a great three-point shooter. He's nice and young. We'll go with Middleton. I'm gonna try to speed up my draft process a little bit because I don't want to bore you guys. So, center. The next good center is Joel Embiid, and I don't know if his injury tendency is going to remain, so we're not going to get him because, let's be honest, he's been in the league for, it's going to be his like second or third year, and he still hasn't played a game, so that's an issue. So power forward, we got a lot of young guys. Tristan Thompson's up there looking really nice, but at small forward, there's just not as much selection as some other positions, but I like MKG as a great small forward, as a great wing defender. That's something that the Warriors had in real life too, was a great wing defender. Now, I'm not trying to copy the Warriors directly, of course, because I'm not going to have the same players outside of Curry, but from afar, I kind of want to copy their type of strategy. Let's go with Tristan Thompson. Let's get a guy who can get big and get the boards when we need him to. That way we can get I want to get like a nice variation of players. I want to get just kind of a nice defensive rebounding center. I want to get a nice rebounding power forward, and then I want to get a good wing defender with great shooters at the guard. So we've done everything outside of the great wing defender, and it looks like MKG was taken, which is I kind of guess should have been expected. I don't know why I didn't take him, because he would have been a really good player, but that's all right. Center. Oh, and real quick, let me emphasize that this won't be the final team most likely. I always like to make some trades, and so trades will likely be on the up and up, and I'll likely always look for ways to improve the team. So don't be surprised if you constantly see me just kind of upgrading the team, making new types of trades, things of that nature. The top rebounder is a young guy. That's good news. Great rebounder, Clint Capella, 6'10". This might be on, but I wouldn't mind this Capella guy, but I highly doubt he's going to be taken. And then, well, I have back-to-back picks, so if I don't take him now, it'll be the next pick. So let's get, but I don't like any of these small forwards, really. I wouldn't mind getting a little bit older of a small forward if I need to. I mean, DeMarre Carroll, let's get DeMarre Carroll. He's a little bit older at 28, but he's a great defender, and he's a good guy just kind of circle around. And it wouldn't hurt to have one veteran player on the team, or a guy who's a little bit older, especially if he's the only good player at that position, who I'm really interested in. So that'll be my strategy there. Center, let's just check where this Clint Capella guy is. He's pretty far down, I think. But I don't know if he'll be there. I mean, I like Willie Cauley-Stein actually a lot too, as a great defender. Only an 81 block in this game. I don't quite understand that. He's 7'1". He's huge. I think Cauley-Stein's the way to go here. Like I said, I'm trying to quick pick because I don't want to get boring. So if you guys ever think I'm making a bad decision, just put that into consideration. I have to go a little bit quicker just to kind of keep the tempo, keep the momentum of the draft itself. So I'm going to be drafting a little bit quicker than I usually would. So shooting guard, we got to go back here. Got Kim Bazemore. I don't even know why I said that name. I only recognize him because he played I'm so biased towards Lakers players or people who ever play on the Lakers. It's almost embarrassing, especially when you look how terrible they are in real life right now. Let's see. We got. I want to look for a sixth man. If you guys are wondering what my strategy is here, I wouldn't mind a good defensive shooting guard, but usually I like one good scorer off the bench. I wouldn't mind J.R. Smith because this guy, if you guys watch him closely in real life, he has a tendency to just randomly go off. We have Tony Allen too, who's, look at this, A+ perimeter defense. This guy is actually considered one of the greatest defenders of all time. At least that's what I've read. I've read a lot of reports about great defenders, and Tony Allen is always up there on the list. So OJ Mayo, he looks like he has Albert Einstein hair. It almost looks like it was Photoshopped because that's absolutely just looks ugly. Then we have J.R. Smith. So I think JR is the most box office player. I like to keep things I like to keep a box office. I like to keep things interesting. After all, we're going to be playing the games, and of course, you guys will be watching if you stay tuned. So we want things to be interesting. We want things to be fun to watch. So next up, I drafted Jordan Hill last year, and the amount of hate I got for drafting Jordan Hill was just unbelievable. So I'm not going to make that mistake again. Jordan Hill will not be taken onto the team, but if we look around, there's not that great of centers. So we got John Henson. It's the only nice young center for quite a while, besides I guess JJ Hickson, but I'm not really interested in him. So we'll get John Henson just for the pure purpose that if he was taken, we wouldn't have another good center to take for quite a while. So that's my reasoning there. Like I said, trying to quick pick a little bit, so I'm not going to look at all the options every round. Okay, point guard. We need a point guard, small forward, and power forward. Point guard could be the thing we worry about last, because I think Steph Curry will be playing. If we're playing 7-minute quarters, he'll be playing. I'm not going to kid with you guys. He's going to be playing close to every single minute. So, we're not going to worry about point guard till last. Vince Carter. If you guys see, Vince Carter can still dunk pretty nice, but he's 38 years old, and the game might not put his real athleticism into consideration. So we're not gonna risk it with that. Power forward. This is just embarrassing. There's no nice young guys, so this is where we kind of have to take into consideration veteran players. I don't know if this game made it so that younger players are taken earlier than usual, because that used to not be the thing. But since there's so many young guys off the board, maybe they did that. I don't quite know. We have Mirza Teletovic, and he's a good shooter, but I don't quite know. That's kind of a weird type of player to go with. Let's see how tall he is. If he's pretty tall, 6'9", that's not bad. I guess it wouldn't hurt to have a shooter at power forward. That would be kind of fun to use. Not a huge fan of him. I don't really even know who he is, quite honestly. Let me check who I picked real quick. On our bench, we have a center and power forward. So, at least we're worried about... Oh, and a guard, a shooting guard. So, at least we're worried about some important things like big men. Big men are the most important backups you're going to have, because they get tired so easily that you're going to have to constantly rotate them within the lineup. Right now we have Mike Dunleavy. Oh, I want Dunleavy just because he can shoot, but he's so old. Aminu I don't like. I don't understand how he's good overall, because not only can he not shoot, but I just never have known what he was good at. Like, I guess, I don't know. Maybe he's just consistently decent and everything. I don't know. None of that really impressed me, though. Omir Caspi, great three-point rating, but when you're mid-range in the mid-50s, that's kind of an issue. Darrell Wright. What's up with these terrible mid-range shooters, but great three-point shooters? Anthony Morrow can shoot like nobody's business, but we can wait on him. So we get... man, you know what? Let's just get him. Just because I feel bad picking another position right now. It just seems weird. So we get Anthony Morrow. And let's send him to our next pick. Oh my god, I just realized Sam Decker was taken. I would have much rather have picked him. Guys, like I said, I'm quick picking. I'm making bad decisions. Please don't judge this draft. I'll make... actually, while we're on the subject, please comment down below if you'd like to see trades for specific players. Like I said, I'm going to be making trades consistently throughout the series, so if there's some players you think are box office that you'd like to see on the team, I'll do what I can to try to make a trade for them. Right now, the only player I have off limits is Steph Curry, so I'll trade anybody else to try to get a player. And maybe, let's say, maybe I can trade a few big guys and get a guy like, I don't know, Blake Griffin or something, some guy who's really box office. Whatever, I'm probably getting ahead of myself, but there we go. That's just to give you guys some ideas. We got Maurice Spates, the guy who missed a wide open layup. That's honestly what I know him for. If you guys remember that play, I believe, was that in the finals where he had a fast break and completely bricked a layup? I don't remember, but ever since then, I kind of have bad blood with him. So, we got everything but a point guard off the bench, and to be honest, I don't know if I want to get one. I guess maybe I'll get a good point guard that I can work around. Just maybe a guy who's young, who can bring in some energy. Norris Cole, I freaking hate him. He's so ugly to me, but he's actually he can be a good spark plug at times. So we'll get him. And then next up, we will get. Man, I don't know. I'm not overly impressed with a lot of this. You know what, let's get JaVale McGee. Why not? It's like we might as well have some fun and just see if he ever does something extremely stupid, which can almost be expected out of him about once a game. So we'll see what he does. We'll see if they have a real life AI playing like him. So we got everything that we need basically off the bench. We'll probably get one more guard, we'll probably get a big small forward who can play small forward and power forward. There's only Dante Cunningham. I don't really know who this guy is. But then we also want a guard. So let's see, is there any guards that I really like, who I would like to have on the team? Bojan Bogdanovic. Of course, we got to put him into consideration. Oh, is that? No, that's Jordan Crawford. If that was Jamal Crawford, that would have to be. Oh, Sasha Vujicic. This is my boy. Okay, guys, I got to get him. Ever since I used to play 2K8, and Sasha Vujicic is the man in 2K8. So, I understand that's 7 years later, or 8 years later now. So it's probably not the same thing, but well, I'll risk it. I'll risk it for the chance. So let's see. We got Cunningham. We got Turkoglu. There just isn't any nice young. Oh, here we go. Kostas Papanikolaou. Yeah, we'll get him. He's young and he plays the stretch. And if you're wondering why I want to stretch, I usually like to have 3 strings of power forwards and I like to have 3 strings of small forwards. And of course, that can't be done with only 13 picks. So, we got to get a stretch 3 who can. Oh, actually, do I have one more pick? I do. I don't. Okay. Well, that's the end of the draft, guys. I understand. Real quick, I'll show you guys the roster to kind of put the whole draft into consideration. Maybe that will help me recap what I did because sometimes I forget. But if I remember correctly, and I'm just going to generate rookies, I don't think I had the greatest draft. I made some mistakes. We got Steph Curry, Chris Middleton, DeMarre Carroll, Tristan Thompson, and Willie Clarkson. That's actually not a bad lineup. When you look at it, when you have Curry, it doesn't matter who your other players are as long as they work and they function consistently. Outside of Curry, everybody else is a consistent player, but considering that Curry, I'm going to agree with this assessment. I believe Curry's the best player in the league. There's going to be, of course, debates about that, and if you guys want to debate that, please comment in the comment section below, and I'll give you guys my outlook on that and explain my reasoning for believing that. But with him, he can really make everybody on the floor better, and he can step up when we need him to step up. And so it doesn't matter who the other guys are. With Curry on the team, he can kind of bring everyone up, and these guys I think are good supporting pieces for a guy like Curry. So it wasn't the greatest draft. It wasn't the greatest set of players that I could have gotten, I don't think, because I did go kind of quickly. But I still hope you guys stayed entertained. I really hope that I'm getting back into this kind of nicely. You know, it's been 2 months, so sometimes making commentary is a little bit rusty. But I really hope you guys enjoyed, and if you did, please click the like button below. Make sure to comment your opinion of the series and why you'd make more interesting in the comment section below. And make sure to subscribe if you haven't already to stay tuned to this series and other series I got going on my channel. Thank you guys so much for staying tuned and staying supportive, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.